Hey everybody, Eric Reed here. I'm one of the ownership team over at FitLab Fitness, also part of the Gym Doctor system. I'm here again with Rocco Boulay, who's the creator of this system, still as beautiful as ever, maybe even more than last time we met. So today we're here to summarize the ramp system. We were a little long-winded last time we met, and we just wanted to take a moment and explain to you kind of how this program works. So welcome today. Thank you
Thanks
for
again, Eric,
being
and
here
we'll
again.
try to make this as concise as
Yeah,
possible.
absolutely.
Taking something very complex and making it very simple.
It is
right?
difficult to do, absolutely.
Okay.
I can attest to that now. But let's dive right into it. What is the ramp system?
Well, the RAMP system is a fitness protocol that we developed to give everybody the necessary exercise and calories they need in their daily living to optimize health. And for decades, really, the fitness industry has tried to deliver this type of training to its customers. The problem has been is that because it was never scalable and we never used the right principles in order to be able to deliver that type of programming, people got disenfranchised by exercise and working out because when they come to the gym, they don't know what to do. Sometimes they can't afford the one-on-one assistance that's necessary to educate somebody on the do's and the don'ts of exercise and nutrition. And what we've done with the RAMP system is be able to provide something like that to people at an affordability that's second to none.
Right.
So we can talk a little bit more about how that works and
Mhm.
throughout the course of this video so that we can help you out there understand why this is necessary and how you can change your health for the better.
Okay, awesome. And you perpetuate, pretty consistently that there is a system involved with being able to build a program like this. Do you want to get into that?
Well, sure. One of the main features of the RAMP program is that we're able to use, well, let me explain this. There's 5 different principles, and throughout the course of this video, we'll explain each one of them in a little bit of depth so that you out there will understand how this works. So when anybody starts off at a fitness program and or meal planning for that matter, there's a certain amount of exercise and food a person needs in order to be able to go from point A to point B.
Right.
And everybody's different. So for example, in exercise, not everybody is the same strength. Not everybody has the same VO2 or aerobic capacity, right? And not everybody requires the same amount of calories necessary in order for that person to be their optimal health. With the RAMP system, we're able to deliver that for each and every single person. It's actually called the principle of individuality. Have you heard of that before?
I have.
So the principle of individuality just simply states that a person, when they walk through our doors, are at a particular fitness capacity. But if we give them too much exercise, they're going to probably drop out. If we don't give them enough exercise, then they're probably not going to get the gains that they had hoped for when they come to a fitness center or embark on a fitness program.
But same result, they always quit.
Yes, and well, we're coming upon January just in a few weeks here, and we'll find we're going to get a very huge influx of people that'll walk through the doors. And because resistance training, which is one of the key factors in the RAMP program, which really stands for resistance applied metabolic prescription. The reason why we named it that is because people who build muscle and are able to increase their lean body mass increase their metabolism, which in turn helps burn the fat off the body. And most people today are under muscled and over fat. We want to be able to provide that lean body mass back to people so that they are metabolically active again to the point where even if they do go off and eat things on their own, they don't have to be devastated by 1 or 2 junk meals, right?
Yep.
So in essence, when people come in January, what we want to do is we don't want them to not be afraid of going into the resistance training portion of the fitness center. You don't have to migrate towards the cardio. You've done that year after year. What has it done for you? Think about it. Many people have joined fitness centers and fitness centers that offer a lot of cardio. People are on there for the first 3 weeks, and then where do they go after that?
Right.
I mean, you've been in the industry. You tell me.
I honestly don't know where they go into hiding. I call it hibernation.
We don't want people going to hiding. We want you to continue to come and utilize your fitness membership so that you get the most out of your membership and the most out of your health. So by creating this program, we're able to deliver that to every single person. But the first principle is individuality. Just simply states that we have to measure where you are at this point in time and move you forward so that the prescription you get is kind of like the Goldilocks principle.
Mhm.
Not too hot, not too cold, but
Right.
just right.
Yep.
Um,
Perfect analogy.
yeah, so that's the first principle.
Okay. What's the second principle?
The second principle and the third, I'm going to talk about them a little bit together
Yeah.
because they kind of go hand in hand. The second principle is the principle of overload. And that simply states that when you exercise, you have to do something a little bit more than what your body's capable of doing. So when we tested that individuality, first off, we were able to say, okay, this is where this person is. So once we understand where that starting point is, we can take overload and say, okay, let's spoon feed a little bit more than what they're used to. So that way you're not devastated the very next
Yeah.
day after the workout. Of course, sometimes that happens to people. They think more is better. More is not better. Sometimes more is just more, and it's not. It's just too much for
Yeah.
some people. So
Agreed.
we want to apply the overload principle to each person. It says, okay, let's give you a little bit more. We spoon feed that over the course of 8 weeks, so that the adjustments or the adaptations that are taking place inside the physiology are really unnoticeable to the person who's on the program. And because the principle of progression has to be added in with overload, it's basically called progressive overload. There are two principles, but they kind of act together
Yep.
as a unit. So each week, what we do is we have a little bit more spoonful of more exercise, a little bit more exercise, a little bit more exercise.
Yep.
So as the body's adapting, the person doesn't notice the amount of it. So if we took somebody, say, for example, and we tried to take them from point A to point Z,
Right.
those are the types of people who say, I'm never going to do this again because I don't like exercise. I would not like exercise either
Right.
because it's just way too much.
Yeah,
right?
it's a
So
lot.
by utilizing this program, we're able to say, here, let's give them a spoon full of exercise every single week. Now, there's a principle called specificity. So the principle of specificity simply states that in order for me to be good at a particular movement, I have to continue to do that movement.
Right.
So if I want stronger biceps, this is the movement.
Yep.
If I want stronger shoulders, this is the movement. But if I don't do those movements with progressive overload over time, none of those movements will get better.
It's true.
And last but not least, we have what's called the principle of diminishing return. See, some people, and I've noticed this through the course of me working out in health clubs and fitness centers for many years, is that I see people doing the same thing decade after decade,
Yeah.
and they don't look any different.
Right.
You know, because you probably see them in your gym too, that they think that more is always better, but there comes a point in time where your body needs a rest. So that's why we use an 8-week schedule to do this, because at the end of 8 weeks, we reassess with the principle of individuality, because now that person who came to us 8 weeks prior is at a different fitness level than they were at the first 8
Right.
weeks. So we have to create a whole new program for them so that the new stimulus or the new progressive overload is not the same as the last one.
Gotcha.
So you can't take the same program and do it over again and think you're going to get the same result, because that's
Right.
Einstein's definition, doing the same thing over and over again,
Yeah.
thinking you get a different result. You're not going to.
Correct.
That's why that progressive overload over 8 weeks has to take place, because once the diminishing return happens, your nervous system kind of gets a little tired, your muscles need some
Yep.
recovery. So we give that person time to be tested, and in the first 2 weeks of that next program, fairly easy again.
Right.
And people think, oh, this is just too easy, until they get to week 5 or 6 and they go, oh my God, it's being progressive.
And I'm going
again.
through that right now with the Michelangelo
So
program.
you kind of you understand on
Yeah.
on a first time.
So they go 8 weeks. It's almost like they reset, test again, another 8 weeks, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
For how long?
And it can go on for infinity, or until
Infinity.
you reach genetic potential. And if you get to genetic potential, we've done our job, and you are one healthy cat.
Yeah, just
right?
call us. We're agents too, for whatever you need.
So that's how this whole system works. So we're going to take you through all of these actions that happen, so that you understand the experience and why, if you don't do this, you're probably wasting a lot of your money. So optimize your fitness membership, optimize your life, and this is how it's going to happen. Okay, so
Yep.
let's go down and we'll show you a couple of these things. Okay,
Great.
all right.
Here we are. Jose has just decided to jump on the ramp system. Congratulations on that, Jose. I just want to kind of point out that one of the things we do is we make sure that you are ready to be on an exercise program. So we're taking blood pressure to make sure that everything's kind of safe. Jose obviously is a nice specimen here. He's in good shape. So the one thing we do is we track your heart rate and your blood pressure over time. We also do an O2, make sure that you're getting good oxygen into your body. So the next thing we would do after we do that is Jose would hop up. Obviously, he's not going to do that right now, but if you want to pan over right here, we have what's called the InBody 570. So this is the way we track the progress of our clients. So we don't do anything arbitrarily. There's no guesswork. There's no scales really, because we obviously know that at this point weight is nothing. It's a result. It's not a goal. Our goal is to increase, muscle mass and to lose fat. So we use a machine like this, which is pretty innovative. Breaks our body down segmentally into 5 parts. Both arms, both legs, and your trunk. Gives us percentage of muscle mass, fat mass, intracellular, extracellular water weight. Gives us all kinds of metrics to look at, which gives us a nice ability to be able to read you kind of internally. All right, here we are. We got Ariana here. She's actually one of the trainers on my team. She's going to help us show you a little bit about how we do our testing.
One of the key factors for the testing is safety, is making sure that our customers who come into an exercise program are not hurt by what we're doing. So what we do is we develop what's called a submaximal test. That we talked about individuality, where we're going to, like, her fitness level and her strength is different from yours, from mine, even from Jose's, who's out of the camera right now. But everybody that walks in is a certain fitness level. We do this with every movement or every exercise in the ramp program, so that we can decipher where that safe starting point is and move them and progress them forward so they feel comfortable in the exercise program and they progress at their own pace. So how we do this is we'll actually select a weight that we know that Ariana can't do 1, but she definitely won't do 10. This is a way of non-invasively being able to find out what her strength point is at this point in time, so that we can design this program that fits Ariana and Ariana alone. So how we do it is, okay, what you're going to do is you're going to push the weight for as many times as you can with good form, okay? Now, hey, go ahead. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's good. So as you can see, she started to wince a little bit on the 5th repetition. That's kind of the range of where she is right now on a chest press. We do this for every movement so that we can safely give her the prescription necessary to get Ariana from point A to point B without her having to worry. And the program's going to tell you where your seat position is, how much weight to use, how many repetitions to use, how many times per week to do this, so that you can optimize your fitness level at a very safe and affordable price.
Literally zero guesswork over the 8 weeks.
So you've been actually doing some programs over the last week.
Yep.
Do you have any comments on what you've experienced so far as, a club owner?
So the one thing I'll note is that the unanimous kind of things that people have been saying is that it's finally just so nice to have a program. Because I'm working with some pretty advanced or moderate to advanced clientele with the program so far before the January rush happens. And what I find is that people are just very excited to have a program that is structured, tells them exactly what to do, because a lot of them are kind of arbitrarily working out these days, and they're just, I work out for 2 hours and that's what I do. But now they're getting out, sooner, lower rest times, things like that, just more intensity in their workouts, and they're just feeling like it's way more amazing at the end of their workout. So I'm getting some pretty awesome feedback about how the intensity is kind of matching their fitness level.
So to recap this video, we addressed the principle of individuality. We took a look at her blood pressure, resting heart rate, so we can determine target heart rate when they're doing cardio. We did an in-body body analysis so that we can find out how much lean to fat mass an individual has. Many of our customers come in because they want to lose some of the body fat. But what we want to do is we want to help them to remove that body fat by gaining lean body mass, which will burn that body fat off safer and faster than doing any type of diet where you're calorie restricted. And that's what the individuality is about. The RAMP program is designing something that fits every single person as that person. So thank you.
And we're back. So those were your 5 principles. Nicely done, Rocco, explaining those.
Well, no, you did a great job.
Thank
and
you.
The staff here at Fit Lab,
Yeah.
we appreciate that you guys have been kind enough to, let us use your facility to basically pilot this out in the area. And so far, it's exciting.
Yeah, it's been amazing. People, the reception has been so cool. So my pocket is buzzing as we speak. Probably from people asking to get on the program. So we figured out how to prescribe fitness universally, which is honestly never been done. Is that a correct claim?
It hasn't been done on a scalable level.
Mhm.
That's the reason why I think there's so much confusion in fitness to this day, because you can get on all of the social media platforms and see that there's a plethora
Mhm.
of different things happening out there. All of them are different.
Right.
With the RAMP system, we use all the principles of exercise to be able to design a program specifically for the individual, and we can do it on a massive scale,
Absolutely.
which has never been done before. So yes.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, because one of the things I notice is, the apps out there people are using, they're asking you, basically your age, your sex, your weight, and then here's your program, and that's just not correct.
Well, I guess something's better than nothing. Having some
Correct.
plan is
Yeah.
better than no plan. But with the RAMP system, we precisely measure and deliver a program that fits the individual. So
Right.
you don't have to do the greatest bodybuilders program or the greatest fitness models program. You're doing your program.
Exactly.
You're training you.
Well, I love it.
So
It's amazing. So we're going to sign off here. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll talk to you soon in the next video.
and remember, Eric and I are always there helping you find your strength. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.